Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Field Between. My name is Ahmed,
I'm Yasmin.
and we're bringing you the first installment of the San Francisco Chronicles.
Live from our bed.
Yeah,
Comfiest place in our studio apartment.
I'm expecting the audio to actually be better because it's a lot more padded and the ceilings aren't quite as high.
Kind of insulated.
We have been getting, as I listen back to other episodes, we've been getting an annoying buzz, but hopefully that'll be fixed soon. I just ordered some new cables.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
How's San Francisco, man?
I don't know, dude. What's going on, bro?
It's really good. It's so fun to have like just a change of pace.
It's cool, yeah. I like it. I like the neighborhood. Let's see. We got in 2 days ago.
Gosh, has it only been? We got in on Friday and it's Monday now. It feels like it's been like a week, I feel like.
Yeah, that last couple of days of moving was kind of rough, and we ended up having to redo half of the move because the way that the movers just put stuff in storage was absolutely insane.
It was pretty rough. I was prepared to push back against you, but it was actually really bad. Like, you were so
push
right.
back, yeah. So
because you can be like a little precise, and I was like, oh, let's see, but it was just like literally shit was thrown into our storage cube.
Yeah, so we hired movers. They were all young boys.
They
pretty
were
much.
like children. They were really young. I almost felt bad complaining. What are you
She
yelling at her
was
for?
scratching the
No,
bed?
she's trying to get up. It's hard for her.
Oh,
She's not athletic. Sorry,
No.
our cat. You can come up, baby. Yeah.
well, okay. Well, don't come up on the equipment.
The people want to hear batata. Huge shout out to our friends.
She
They
doesn't
did
understand that we're podcasting.
so much labor.
Yeah, okay, so they sent all these young people to move us. They just were not professional at all.
No,
and
I really
I'm
feel
not
like they
like
were
a
in high school.
complain person. They definitely weren't in high school, but I'm not like a complainy person. But I just had to like say something, and the way that they put stuff in, like boxes weren't stacked, chairs were just thrown on top of each other. They had like the legs of furniture piercing the bottom of boxes, and I was just like, I have to redo this. Like, we can't just leave it like this, and it just got worse. And then we spent the last 5 hours that we were in Pittsburgh just pretty much redoing half of the move.
I did not. I was dead. And I
Yeah.
had some stuff to finish out the house. But yeah, we had friends both help us pack the Saturday before we moved, I believe. And then that night, last minute. And there were two friends that did both shifts who we really owe
it was
a
very
lot.
sweet.
But just generally, I'm so grateful. Like, it's really sweet and like so helpful when people come through, and it's kind of hard to ask, honestly. Like, I didn't want to ask. You kind of pushed me to like have people come over and help us because I was like, I don't know. But yeah, it makes me feel really cared for, and I'm really grateful, and it made things so much easier. Like, I don't know how we would have gone now if we didn't have those like 7 hours on Saturday.
Yeah.
And they were there for a while. Maybe not
yeah.
7 hours, but it was a full day's shift.
No, we definitely
We got a lot
had
of
a lot of
shit.
help, and
Yeah.
it's very meaningful. I think helping people move is a great act of love.
It's an act of sacrifice. Like, you
and
like hurt your
sacrifice.
back. It's not good.
I fucked up I think I might have torn something in my shoulder.
I think you do need to get to the doctor this week now that things are settling a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good news is we got a full refund on the move.
Yes.
Because they also agreed that it looked insane.
Yeah.
Just the way that they had done stuff. They were like, we can definitely agree that this is not how it's supposed to be done.
When I first, we used the same company last time and it was fine. It just luck of the draw, I guess.
Yeah.
I overheard you on the phone when you first called, and you got like the national branch, I think, initially. And
No, it was a guy.
Was it a guy in Pittsburgh?
Pennsylvania? Yeah.
And I feel like at first he was like prepared to put up a fight, kind of like me, but then he saw the
Yeah.
pictures and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's not good." So
Well, I got the sense from him that they had been talking about it in the office. He was like, "Oh yeah, we did see that email. That is insane. I am so sorry, and we'll figure something out."
yeah.
And today They tried to only offer half the move. Then I was like, what about the couch that they fucked up? And they were like, okay, we can do the whole thing. Which I was telling you, I think that signals to me that they think we could have gotten more money if we took them to court or something.
But it's still not worth our time. I'm just honestly, the free refund makes it worth it to me. Alhamdulillah, like that's totally fine. Like I'm good. I'm not mad anymore. I'm still sad that your shoulder's messed up. But,
yeah, me too.
But yeah, besides that, which I understand is a pretty big aside, but I feel like, I mean, that was kind of extreme, but I feel like something always goes wrong when you're moving. There's just no perfect move. It's never smooth.
The thing I was most worried about actually was the cat, and that was kind of the easy.
It was pretty easy.
She's chill.
I feel like we like really planned it out, and then we had a pretty good trial run when I moved from North Carolina to Pittsburgh, so we like worked out some of the kinks then, and that was a shorter flight. But yeah, alhamdulillah, I feel like everything worked out pretty well. I mean, we were really kind of grinding. I'm glad we took Saturday off. That felt good to have a reset. But really, Friday and Sunday, we worked pretty continuously to like get settled here. But I feel pretty good. I mean, we got some stuff we ordered, just a few small things. Like the house is furnished and really lovely. But, you know, like things that just help us out with daily life.
Yeah.
Coming tomorrow. And yeah, it feels good.
Bidet is installed.
Yep. Ahmed
That's the most important thing.
So that's good. And we got some tea stuff coming, some our essentials.
Yeah.
It's so funny living in someone else's place that's furnished because, like, I kind of feel like I know this person really well, even though I don't. Like, just during the day, I'm kind of like looking at her stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been helpful. I mean, it's only been one day of working, but I feel like it's been helpful just this one day, like, to focus. I kind of like feeling like I'm somewhere else where I don't have as much going on just in this period with where I am with my writing. It's like helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I think I don't feel lonely yet. I might at some point, but I'm like the fact that like when we're not, it's kind of like we're like in a work hard, play hard phase. And a lot of the things that we do that we really love and sustain us, we won't be doing as much here, but knowing that we're getting back to them when we go back. It all feels pretty good.
Yeah.
If we went longer than 4 months without doing like community events or like, I'm sure we're going to hang out with people, but like that's a huge part of our life. I think I would start to really miss it. But I think like 4 months like is the right amount of time. Like I'll be really excited to get back to it when we're back.
Right.
Yeah.
We put in an offer on a house that was promptly rejected.
Yeah. Because we bid really under asking price.
They were probably insulted. We're going to see if they come crawling back to us.
Yeah, the market's slowing, so you never know. We got time.
Yeah.
We don't need to move in anywhere until October 1st.
We have the luxury of time and not having enough money to buy the house.
Right. I don't know if that part's a luxury.
But
yeah, they were just like, cool. No worries. We won't give you this house. We're like, all right.
Yeah.
I think you have to go to Philly at some point for work. I think when we budget tomorrow, we might schedule you going to Pittsburgh the weekend before to look at some more places.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. It's all good. We got housing for now. We don't have to have another place until October 1st. So between now and then, a lot could happen.
And a lot has happened since the last time we put out an episode. I'm going to stop making promises of us getting back on any sort of regular schedule.
We are like we're not moving though. Like we're like, our lives are stable for the next 4 months pretty much.
Yeah.
We're going to North Carolina once in, I guess July.
There's going to be quite a bit of travel still.
Really just July.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. September we're going to Yosemite.
And you're trying to do all these weekend trips too.
I'm only doing one weekend trip.
Oh, we're only doing one weekend trip.
I'm only doing one, yeah. Yeah.
No, we're doing like we're trying to go to Sequoia.
Yeah, but that's different. That's like a day trip. Like we'll be back the same day.
But it's on the days that we normally record.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna try and be more consistent.
We'll try, but I'm not promising anything. Is the point?
That's fair.
Okay.
That's really cute.
Yes,
right
a
now.
lot has happened. There was the mosque shooting in.
Oh shit! Did we not talk about that?
No.
Really? Has it been that long?
It's been that long.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, I have literally nothing to say on it. It was upsetting. I feel like we did talk about it, Ahmed.
No, I don't think we did.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Damn. A lot of shootings happen in this country. It's hard
What was
to
our last
remember.
episode about? I'm going to check real quick.
No, astaghfirullah. It really was awful and depressing. But yeah, people have guns. They're being radicalized.
Oh, that sounds like she just fell off the bed.
This will continue to happen. Yeah, it's a little bit tall for her.
Yeah. No, I don't think we did actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, awful. I think the thing is that happened immediately after too, and I guess I'm not surprised. It's just that so many people in the Trump administration were like came out to just be like, this is what happens when you have like essentially Muslims getting what they deserve sort of thing. And there's just like a lot of horrible rhetoric, which is disgusting, but I guess I'm not surprised. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to be shocked anymore. I mean, I remember even being kind of upset in a meta day in a meta kind of way on the day of that I wasn't more viscerally upset
Yeah.
because I mean, we are just kind of getting, or at least I am sort of getting, it's just this kind of like level of violence is so normalized that while it's super awful, it's not surprising or shocking. And while like it particularly hits close to home, obviously for it to be a mosque, like there just is a level of radicalization and gun violence in this country that like truly no one is safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like the hand wringing over the increase of like, oh, like there's this increase of anti-Semitism in the country, and it's really promulgated. There's a really good video I'll link to in the show notes by a friend of the show, Sana Said, who kind of did like an in-depth into what is contributing to the rise of like those statistics. And it in part, unfortunately, is driven by like all these like pro-Israel groups that are trying to make it seem like to link anti-Semitism to anti-Israelism, and a lot of those statistics are skewed by things that are pro-Palestine, anti-Israel, and not necessarily anti-Semitic. But there's no I feel like we're not seeing the same hand wringing over Islamophobia or anti-Muslim attacks because there's not really like a Muslim nation that we're so closely tied to that is just like we're trying to conflate anti-Muslim or anti-Islam sentiment with like Dubai or Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I fully agree with that. I feel like there was a lot of, I mean, yes, the Trump administration is like cravenly pro-Israel and very Islamophobic. Like that's definitely true.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of the mainstream coverage that I saw was talking about the rise of Islamophobia and like white nationalism contributing to that. I feel like there's been a lot of mainstream media coverage of like Islamophobia against like Muslim politicians and stuff lately. So I don't know if there's like a lack of coverage necessarily.
In mainstream media?
Yeah.
What have you been seeing?
I mean, it was widely reported on and reported as an Islamophobic hate crime. I didn't finish Sana's piece, and I really appreciate her reporting and writing. There is an increase in anti-Semitic attacks. I think both things can be true. It can be true that anti-Semitism is rising and that there also is a garbling of what is actually anti-Israel pushback. Like I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. I mean, but there have been attacks on synagogues increasing and like defacement of synagogues.
Yeah, I don't think she's saying it's not happening.
Think she is either. I just wanted to clarify for people listening. Yeah,
that the statistics that everyone references that shows it growing at like a faster pace than ever, and it's like the thing that's outpacing everything or whatever.
And I think it also points to like an infrastructure issue that like it is more well reported because there is better infrastructure. Like I do think that like there isn't the same tracking. I mean, CARE is doing a pretty good job, but the resources are not really level for tracking. But I mean, like the other thing too is that from a white nationalist perspective, like Islamophobia and anti-Semitism are very much linked. Like a lot of the same stereotypes about essentially sleeper cell Americans who kind of are passing but are actually like, you know, doing pretend Sharia or like all these old anti-Semitic tropes. Like there's a lot of overlap between anti-Semitic tropes and Islamophobic tropes, and actually a lot of kind of newer American Islamophobic tropes are just kind of lazily papering over older anti-Semitic tropes. So I think those things are pretty related. I mean, even like thinking about the like Tree of Life shooting in Pittsburgh, the shooter's manifesto targeted the synagogue in part because they were doing like outreach to Muslim refugees. Like, I think that like white nationalists are happy to like burn up synagogues and mosques. So if one increases, the other will probably increase. But maybe you're right that one gets more like lasting attention, perhaps.
Lasting attention that actually moves political dollars and legislation.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the narrative is mostly predicated on also funneling support to this one country.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. People who are cynically pro-Israel will definitely use that kind of stuff, unfortunately, to further that. Absolutely. And have been doing so. Yeah.
One thing that I had kind of queued up was that like Mamdani did not go to the Israel Day parade.
Of course not.
And had been criticized for that.
Of course.
Which, great that he didn't go. Weird that there's an Israel Day parade. I don't know that any other country has its own parade where it shuts down Fifth Avenue. But who was there is Smotrich, the finance minister of Israel, who at around the same time there was, I don't know if they issued a warrant quite yet, but it's likely that an ICC warrant for his arrest is forthcoming, and it is clear that he has like violated international law. He should be sanctioned. He should be in The Hague. And one thing that I wanted to bring up is that, you know, Mamdani had been asked if he would arrest Netanyahu or anyone who had ICC warrants out for violation of international law. And his answer was, I would uphold international law, which is a way of saying, yeah, I would arrest him, or like you hinting that he would do the thing that people want him to do without saying it explicitly, I suppose. Very Obama move. But he allowed the Israel Day parade to happen unabated, and also allowed Smotrich to be there and didn't do anything. And I feel like that's kind of like a capitulation. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are probably pretty predictable. I think it was already a pretty big deal that he didn't go. I think that's a reasonable stance. I don't think that the mayor is going to arrest a finance minister. Yeah. Schumer was there, which is also wild, but yeah.
Why is that wild?
I mean, it's not. It's predictable, but like it should be ridiculous that he was there.
Was John Fetterman there?
Probably, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be wild if he wasn't there. Okay, so Mamdani allowed the Israel Day parade to happen. Okay, whatever, it happens every year, but it like he's also kept Tish on, who is a real Zionist, and he again like did not even use whatever powers he has to be able to kind of like gum things up for them, which is like if you're not gonna arrest the guy, like do something. You know what I'm saying?
I think not going is pretty radical given the history of the parade and how long it's been going on.
And he also still allows like the synagogues to do these illegal land auctions, you know, in New York.
What do you want him to do?
Uphold international law like he said he would.
Yeah.
You know?
I also think it's a little bit...
Fire Tish.
Uh-huh. All right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, what were we going to say?
I also think it's a little bit of a slippery slope. Like, if anything were to be curtailed at synagogues, it should absolutely be, I mean, yeah, if it's like literally helping people buy land in Israel, that is insane. And that is a good red line to draw. I definitely am more cautious than a lot of people I know in the pro-Palestine movement in terms of like policing speech or like protesting at synagogues. I just think it's a really slippery slope with like houses of worship, and I think that it can be read as intimidation. I also feel that like I was just finish my thought. I don't think that people are prepared for the scrutiny to be turned on mosques like the way they have in the past. Like you can't cry Islamophobia if you don't want that same kind of treatment to your houses of worship. Like the kind of like, and this has already happened to mosques, so I guess it's a little bit different. Like there has been like unfair tracking of like finances, and so like why isn't that happening the other way? But also like, I don't know, you could get into a place where people are like, oh, this mosque is anti-queer. That would wipe out almost every fucking mosque in this country.
This isn't speech,
like,
though. This is not
no,
speech.
I hear you
this
on
is
this.
illegal selling
that's
of
not
settlements.
Did you hear what I was saying? I said, yeah. I said, I understand that's a clear place to draw a line. But in general, aside from that, like I know I've heard some people in the pro-Palestine movement kind of go a little bit further than I would in terms of like, we should protest every synagogue that has ever.
I've never heard that.
I have definitely heard that among people that we know.
I've never heard that. I've only heard it for.
I've heard like you know, allowancing for defacing synagogues, which I like really don't agree with.
Never heard that.
You've never heard that? We've had
Absolutely
that conversation
not.
in Pittsburgh. Like
no, like I mean, protesting at synagogues that are allowing the land sales is like where the line kind of is, and
but
that's
there's
very
protests
fair.
for synagogues that are kind of have more. Look, the thing that's tricky is that most synagogues have a connection to Israel, whether or not they're doing like literal land sales, right? And so like I understand if you were to take a more radical view, you could then say like all bets are off, protest every synagogue. But to kind of viscerally protest synagogues in some of the ways that I think the movement has like sanctioned, I find like a little distasteful personally. I'm not talking about land sales. I'm talking about like,
yeah,
I don't know, like sort of saying that it's okay to deface. I don't think, to be fair, I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. I don't want to like besmirch the entire movement. I don't think this is like a common stance, but it is one I've heard articulated. I'm surprised that you're pushing back against that.
This is not a mainstream. Like, no, I'm definitely pushing back. I've never heard this as like a mainstream Palestine movement thing. Like, I think it's totally fair to be like, any synagogue that is allowing like IDF soldiers who just came fresh from doing a genocide, fair to protest. Any synagogue that is allowing and trying to illegally sell land in anywhere in Palestine, but like especially Gaza and West Bank, in violation of international law, absolutely be protested. You should be shut down. That's not a house of worship. That's like, I don't even know what to call that. That's like something much, much more sinister and evil parading as a house of worship, which makes it even all the more vile. I've never heard a position from anyone who is part of the pro-Palestine movement in any serious or meaningful way, or any leaders be like, yeah, we should just support or protest any synagogue. That's not something I've heard. I think that's a mischaracterization.
Most synagogues do have like at least tenuous connections to Israel, and it will take time for those institutions to be challenged. So I think that's what makes it a slippery slope in terms of like, I think like if you were to protest every mosque that had connections to Saudi, like a lot of those connections are no longer live. Also, to be clear, not every mosque has. This is not like a 1-for-1 by any means. But there were a lot of mosques that were built with like Saudi money. There were a lot of mosques in the U.S. that were built with Muslim Brotherhood money. And those kind of blanket arguments that we should kind of like cut off anything that has been connected. I think that you have to like qualify what the connections are. And I think what you're saying about like land auctions is a perfectly fair and reasonable take. But I'm surprised that you're like not seeing this the way that I am. Like there was I don't want to get too into details because I know there's like a legal case concerning this, and to be clear, I'm not sanctioning or agreeing with the way that this is being carried out in the courts, but there is a case in Pittsburgh where like a house of worship was like tagged. I don't remember why that particular place was called out.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that I don't even like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't find that particularly appropriate unless there's like a really clear, like, this is the reason why this synagogue is being sanctioned articulation. Like there's so many institutions in this country
Mm-hmm.
that are tied to Israel. Like, why go for the house of worship?
Well, I mean, my response is I don't think that action was indicative of the broader sentiment of the pro-Palestine movement.
That's fair. But I mean, there's been a whole kind of discourse about, like, actually, interestingly, kind of by, I think in the case of Pittsburgh, by Jews who are like very, very anti-Zionist. And so maybe this is more of like an internal community conversation, to be fair, of like nothing is sacred and like that was an appropriate action. And I just don't agree with that. I don't think it's fair for that person to be facing the charges they are. I think that's crazy. But I also don't think it's appropriate to deface houses of worship. And I think that, like, coming from a religious minority standpoint, we have to be super careful, because that could easily get turned on us.
Yeah. Okay. So just like zooming out, right? Yeah. A lot of masajid get money from Saudi,
especially in the past. This has changed a little bit, I would say.
That we definitely don't agree with, because they do slavery, they've done genocide, they've done a lot of the same things that I mean, not that it matters, but to a lesser degree than what Israel's doing right now. 100%. For sure.
And it's not as systematic a connection.
Hard to say for Dubai, like Emirates,
but it's not as systematic a connection. It's not the case that like every mosque in the U.S. is funded by one nation state. That's definitely not true. Yeah. I'm not trying to say that it is.
If there was a mosque right now that was Emirati backed and was doing land sales in like Sudan, in areas that have been like forcibly evacuated by the RSF or something like that, I would be like, deface it. That's like a disgusting, that's like a house of like corruption. It is like a stain on anything Islamic. Like that would be disgusting, and that, like, whatever. But if it is just kind of, I agree with you that it is a little harder to parse out when the institution was built with kind of like, lack of a better word, blood money.
A lot of our institutions are built with blood money. Yeah, like, it's one thing to have ongoing connections, but I think it's another thing.
And the congregation is like not necessarily aware of that,
or is like passively engaging in it, or like working through that connection. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I get that, but I don't. My read on like the movement broadly is that no one is really focusing on those institutions.
That's and fair. I don't think that's the main for us. Yeah.
With places that are like bringing, again, like soldiers who have just like are fresh from committing horrible war crimes and doing land sales.
Yeah, that's valid. We negotiated, oh gosh, I forget what the actual incident was, but we had a good conversation about this on campus. Why am I blanking on the specifics? There was some kind of like statement that we were putting out, and the Faculty for Justice in Palestine were like agreeing to sign on or not. And yeah, we had like a pretty good nuanced conversation among the students and faculty about, I was really adamant that we took the language out about, I'll just keep it vague, but certain places of worship. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A couple more things on this, I guess, along these lines.
I've got some items too. Let me know to jump in.
What do you got?
I've got a more serious one. Are we still doing serious?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then I have a lighthearted one. Should I do serious?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
Well, what's your topic? Because I have one that directly relates, and then also...
you go first then.
What is yours?
No, you go first. Mine's more about ICE.
Oh, okay.
And by more, I mean is about.
All right. I had an article about John Fetterman that made the rounds the other day.
Did we tell the people that you yelled at him in person?
I think so.
And I'm deeply concerned that you're going to get like arrested.
Yeah, we talked about it. Senator Fetterman celebrates National Mushroom Day.
What?
I figured you would like this one. I don't know. No, it's I just found this today when I was searching for the other article, but I'll read it in John Fetterman's voice.
The mushroom one?
Yeah.
I really like mushrooms, guys. I don't know if you know that.
National Mushroom Day recognizes all of farmers and workers. Industry deserves national support.
That's actually really good.
This is the mushroom capital of the world. Pennsylvania's
Is
contributed.
Pennsylvania the mushroom capital of the world?
Yes.
How?
World.
No, it's not. It's got to be like somewhere in Russia, right?
Significantly, country's mushroom supply demand and continues to be a leader thanks to the men and women on the ground.
Very nice, Fetterman.
Proud to see a resolution, colleagues, to continue supporting farmers industry not just every day, but today. That's it. Oh, wow. Chester and Berks counties alone produce 60% of the mushrooms in the United States.
I had no idea. That makes me so proud to be a Pennsylvanian. I'll start to
That's
identify
nuts.
more with that.
I didn't know this.
That's very
okay,
cool.
but there was an even more important article about
more important than Mushroom Week.
It was in
We have to find psychedelic mushrooms
New
here,
York
Ahmed.
Magazine.
Uh-huh.
The Man Who Explains Israel to John Fetterman, how a little-known writer became one of senators' closest confidants. I think this also came out at around the same time that he's just hemorrhaging staff. I think another chief of staff quit, and she was someone who had gotten, I think, put in the position because people are just like leaving.
This is like he's had so many.
Because he only cares about Israel now.
Yeah. Even people who are pro-Israel, I think, find it intense.
Yeah. I'll just kind of like read some of the highlights here.
Wait, what's the name of the person who's explaining Israel to him?
David Dovey Safir.
Okay. Don't know who that is.
By Democratic Party standards, Fetterman's position on Israel is extreme. There are multitudes of theories as to why the senator is contrarian. He enjoys attention, convinced himself that he's indisputably in the right. But people close to Fetterman cite a previously unreported fact or two. Behind the scenes, Fetterman is being encouraged and counseled by a little-known man in his late 30s named David Dovey Safir. Safir, a writer of Jewish history and fundraiser for Orthodox causes, has no public background in government or counseling politicians on Capitol Hill. He's not an official staffer or paid outside advisor. A few years ago, he just kind of appeared in the senator's orbit, one former Fetterman staffer remembers, and then suddenly he seems to be everywhere. Staffers would walk into Fetterman's office, only find Safir sitting in the room. When the senator went to Israel in 2025, Safir joined him on the trip. When Fetterman filmed Real Time with Bill Maher, Safir met up with him in Los Angeles. The two are constantly texting and talking, according to multiple former Fetterman staffers. And Safir has unofficially operated as a top campaign fundraiser and senior advisor. He has even set up and attended sensitive meetings with foreign officials. In some cases, he is also the only person staffing those meetings.
Wait, I already forgot. This person is just a writer? Like they don't have any kind of political background?
Just a writer, and also is meeting with like foreign dignitaries on official U.S. government diplomatic trips. In September 2025, Fetterman and some other of his senior staffers gathered at the senator's office for a meeting with Yechiel Leiter, the Israeli ambassador to the United States. According to one of the staffers in attendance, Safir was inexplicably in the room too. It was far from a public event. During the meeting, Fetterman tested out a proposal to force every senator to vote on whether they think Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Leiter and Safir did not consider this a good idea. Fetterman eventually backed off. Throughout, the two politicians gossiped freely. According to the same staffer, Leiter told Fetterman that he had prodded Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, despite his fervent support for the state, to be even more helpful to Israel, asking the Jewish politician if he puts blood in his matzo.
What?
I think he's saying like he doesn't think he's doing enough for Israel.
Oh, jeez.
The Israeli embassy denies the comment. Ambassador later said to Schumer, as he said to other senators and congressmen, that the accusation of starvation in Gaza is no different than medieval blood libels. The embassy said in a comment.
It's so embarrassing that people keep on making that articulation when but it's like you're actually doing it. Like, and again, just talking about cheapening anti-Semitism, like you can't you can't say shit like that and
Yeah.
then like have people take you seriously.
Yeah. We didn't talk about it, but there was that New York Times piece that came out a couple weeks or maybe a month ago about like the systemic rape that the IDF is doing, and for it to be in the New York Times is a huge deal. And the thing that immediately came out was like, oh, this is blood libel. You're using this to kind of like,
It was Nicholas Kristof, right? He got sued by Israel.
Yeah, he's being sued by Israel. And
it wasn't even that great of a piece, to be honest.
Really?
It was good for the Times.
Yeah, and the Times kind of stood by it, which was impressive.
It shows how times are shifting.
Yeah.
So many Palestinians have died that even the Times has to shift because I think they just know that their historical record is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not even out of a sense of morality. It's out of a sense of like awkwardness. Yeah.
But they're suing. Yeah, they're saying it's blood libel. And the other comparison that was made was, oh, you guys said that the Screams Without Words story was fake and it was unsubstantiated, but now you believe this story. And about like rape in Israeli prisons, and like there's
Who's the you guys there?
the pro-Palestine people who, denied one story and then believed the other. And all I'll say is this: the Screams Without Words story was the sources who were cited in it were like, that's not what we said. There hasn't been a shred of evidence, whether it's testimony or video evidence or forensic evidence, that corroborates the stories that were told, like the really ludicrous sort of things like they raped women and then they cut off their breasts and threw them around and blah, 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 right? There is video evidence of rape being done in Israeli prisons. There was a protest for the right to rape Palestinian prisoners in Israel when that video came out. The only punishment that was dealt was to the person who leaked that video. And there is ample testimony of women and men who were in those prisons and suffered rape committed by the IDF. So the reason one story is more believable than the other is because one story has a ton of evidence to corroborate it, and the other was even denied and refuted by the people who were cited in the story.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think this is an old story also, that when something is done en masse, it's seen as like statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And then these kind of, whereas like the alleged stories of sexual violence against Israelis, like those people were very humanized in those accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Like the telling of the stories really betrays a lot about like who we see as human and who we see as like an individual, versus like when horrors are happening en masse, they're kind of not being told in a way as if they are masses, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like not individual people. And like, whether or not there was sexual violence done against Israelis and to what extent it happened, like, I don't know that I can say for sure, but one thing I can say for sure is it is nothing like the systematized violence, the sexual violence that is part of the Israeli regime against Palestinians. And the fact that that is only getting coverage in the Times now is really upsetting. Like,
Yeah.
and it should be upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, like, it's not just a one-off here or there. Like, it is a part of Israeli policy.
Yeah. Who was that? There was a high-level
Like, all sexual
U.S.
violence is
official in
bad,
the
but-
State Department who resigned because he had found out that there was like a cover-up happening over the rape of like a 10-year-old boy, and he was like,
know.
and he was someone who was, his job in the State Department was to like oversee weapons transfers.
Yeah, I don't.
And he was like, I can't do this anymore because this is insane. And this
Yeah.
was, I think, before either of the stories had come out. So, I mean, there you have it. That would be my pushback against anyone who's like, you're intellectually dishonest or weak for believing one story and not believing the other. Anyway, back to this Fetterman story. I'll skip down to the part where he kind of details how he worked his way into the senator's inner circle. In December 2023, Safir texted a former senior staffer about coordinating additional Fetterman fundraisers and floated the possibility of organizing a trip to Israel. In 2024, Safir reached out to the former senior staffer again. Got a call from Israel's PM's office. A friend of mine is a long-term advisor. The PM wanted to set up a call with the senator to thank him for his support, I presume. Fetterman and Netanyahu spoke to each other a day later. Safir also began to show up to events. In May 2024, he was in the crowd as Fetterman gave a commencement speech at Yeshiva University. Some staff remember the summer of 2024 as a turning point. That June, Fetterman made a 2-day excursion to Israel. During his trip, he managed to squeeze in meetings with Netanyahu and other Israeli officials. He seemed refreshed by the experience. It was the trip of my life, the senator told the journalist at Mishpacha, I don't know. The interview was coordinated by Safir, according to the text I reviewed. After Fetterman returned, several people close to the senator noticed Safir popping up at the office with increasing frequency. One says it became common sense to see Safir waiting outside John's office to speak. He became part of our conversations, the former staffer says. It got to the point where there was a weight in what he said and what he wanted. So essentially, this guy just kind of like is Fetterman's Israel handler.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of like popped up, and I don't know. I don't want to say Mossad, but maybe Mossad. And he's just kind of like telling Fetterman what to do and is somehow in these high level diplomatic meetings.
I feel like this gives some insight. Like maybe, I mean, in addition to just being a terrible person, because the Israelis have so much and people who are pro-Israel have so much to stand by having Fetterman continue to vote in their interest.
Yeah.
They're the only people who like kind of deal with him, whereas everyone else can't stand him.
Yeah.
And so it's like reinforcing where he's like, oh, these are my people.
Yeah, it's definitely his like APAC handler. Oh geez. What's going on with those feet?
Oh, they're cracking.
They are cracking.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Fetterman also wrote something in the Washington Post the other day. It's kind of says like, I did the Lake and Riley Act for you, and I'm doing Israel for you.
Nice.
And Democrats only oppose Trump, and they don't really stand for anything, which is true, but also it's more embarrassing to just
stand for Israel.
Stand for Israel and not like literally nothing else. But we don't have to read that. What do you got?
This is ongoing, so to be honest, I don't have a ton yet, but I just wanted to mention it. Have you been following the Delaney Hall protests? This literally
I've not been following, but I've seen.
So this literally just started, and this is one of these things where I'm like, it's annoying that I only saw this on social media. And then and to be fair, I guess Legacy News is a little bit slower. Hopefully there'll be a Times piece tomorrow. When I went to find like a news article, and all I could find was The Guardian, which is like, a British newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is a New Jersey ICE facility that had a week of protests. Folks who are incarcerated there at the Immigration Detention Center went on labor strike and then hunger strike. And the city, and then like word got out, and I think this is the kind of thing we've been waiting for, where like massive protests came and actually went to the center.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been put down ruthlessly by the city. There's been a lot of like police violence against protesters. A curfew in Newark has been activated. So I mean, like tactics that we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say too much, because again, it is very much like ongoing, and literally all I've read about it has been on social media. That's one news article. But I think that it's really I don't want to say exciting, but like heartening to see. I think this is the thing we've been waiting for, is for people to actually show up at the actual detention centers and like take physical action.
Yeah.
Here in the US, as in many places in the world, the potential of what can happen to you for this kind of like action is, I mean, it's a very high risk action.
Yeah.
So very proud of people like both on the outside and on the inside. And I think that kind of solidarity between like recognizing a labor strike that's happening in a center is like more of what we need to see of. So yeah, just really heartened by that, and we'll be reading in for more, and hopefully we can say more next episode.
Yeah. Man, it's just so crazy because when I feel like I remember when the Arab Spring was happening, one of the things that people said of the protesters is like, they're so brave because this is such a repressive country, and if they get caught, XYZ is going to happen to them.
Yeah. I mean,
and like the kind of undertone of that, the subtext is, we could never be like that because we have free speech and all these liberal ideals. And here we are being like, oh, if you get caught at one of these protests, you're like done. Like if you're an immigrant or naturalized, you could just be deported to some random country, or you could just be detained indefinitely.
You could be shot. I mean, you could be very easily killed. That's my worry.
Yeah.
You could be shot, and then also we've seen so much from like the university side, the kind of repressive legal apparatus can be brought down that can make your life like an absolute living hell.
Yeah.
If you're a protester and then you like move incorrectly while a gun is being put at your head, like, you know, I mean, the stakes are very high. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I like to think that I was better than most, but I count myself among the humbled for like looking at protests abroad when I was in college and being like, wow, glad they're doing the thing. And now just sitting with egg on my face, like, fuck, who wants to do this thing?
Yeah.
This looks awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 100%. We are living in a very repressive state. Like, it should be seen as a life or death act of bravery to show up to something like this, because it is. I mean, it's terrifying. I mean, the little footage that I've seen on social media of like riot gear, tear gas at protesters, like the just like physical violence is unfortunately very par for the course at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame on the Newark mayor for instituting a curfew.
Is he a Muslim guy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I'm thinking of someone else.
Ross Baraka? I don't really know anything about him.
Baraka?
Yeah, question mark. Ross Baraka. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know.
Ross?
Ross Baraka Muslim question mark. Ross, R-A-S.
Oh. Okay. Sounds Muslim.
Not Muslim.
Not Muslim.
He was raised in a highly political household by parents involved in the Black Arts Movement who had ties to the Nation of Islam. Shame on you, Baraka.
Damn, dude.
Shame on you on not living up to your
That's crazy.
parents.
Yeah.
That's funny. It looks like he had a lot of Muslim endorsements. Maybe that's why we're thinking that.
Yeah.
Like CARE and other groups.
Okay, interesting. Did you have another thing?
I have two lighthearted items to close us out, but they're very lighthearted. So do you have anything more serious first?
Yeah. I wanted to maybe I'll make this a regular thing. I know I mentioned the Spectator piece a couple weeks ago about Roger Stone trying to pin the Iran war on Laura Loomer and not on Donald Trump, trying to make it seem like Laura Loomer was this Machiavellian sort of mastermind pulling the strings, and
making
Trump
it all happen.
was just a hapless little, idiot who fell into her trap.
Yeah.
Now we have a piece in The Spectator by Ann Coulter titled Never Rubio, and it's just like the most racist article, just horrible.
Really?
Yeah. You know who Ann Coulter is, right?
It sounds familiar,
She's
but
like
I'm blanking on who that is.
She's like a fox blonde.
Let me look her up.
She's horribly ugly. She just looks...
Don't talk about people's
she's
physical
skeletal.
appearances.
She's ugly.
Oh, yeah, I recognize this lady. She's
would
not ugly.
You think she's hot?
No, but
Okay, then she's ugly.
She's an older lady. She's 64.
Okay, yeah.
We can criticize her
also,
for being inwardly evil.
She's a horse-faced uggo.
Good.
And
you don't gotta go there.
Anyway, There was also an article, I think, in the New York Times about Rubio and how he's not the one. So it seems like there is a schism.
Is it like Vance versus Rubio? Is that the schism?
Kind of.
Because those are probably the only two successors,
hard
right?
to tell. These have just been anti-Rubio.
Okay.
And it kind of makes me think that it won't be Vance or Rubio, but it might be like Hegseth, who's kind of just been...
That would be hilarious.
Oh, man, that would be such a nightmare.
I mean, it would be funny,
Hegseth
though.
is... Well, I don't know, because Trump has also thrown Hegseth under the bus a few times.
He'll throw anyone under the bus.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, I just want to read a little bit from this, because similar thing where she tries to just kind of remove any agency for going to war with Iran or closing the straits or a lot of the shit that is currently happening that is bad, saying that it's all Marco Rubio's fault. We'll start here from the top and then skip around.
And this is what's the outlet again?
Spectator. The Atlantic magazine recently announced the people's choice for the 2028 Republican presidential nomination. Trump voters like Marco Rubio more and more, and J.D. Vance less and less, the headline proclaimed. A ruling that deserves respect considering that this is the magazine that has spent the past decade ferociously denouncing Trump as a racist, fascist, kleptocrat, warped, corrupted, and authoritarian, a demagogue, and a xenophobe and a liar. And one thing that Coulter does throughout this is like half of her paragraphs, half of like pretty much each paragraph is
adjectives.
It's quotation
Okay.
marks. It's like, like scare quotes.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's not to like about Rubio? He's, quote, diverse. The truth is other Hispanics
Quote, diverse.
hate Cubans. His father was a bartender. Voters don't care. His parents fled Fidel Castro, proving his bona fides as an anti-communist. He claims to have dropped his signature issue and across-the-board amnesty for illegal aliens, but his record of betrayal on that issue suggests he'll keep the donor class knee-deep in cheap labor forever. Yep, he's John McCain in sheep's clothing.
Oh.
It's so funny how
John is
McCain is like
leftist now.
Yeah, that's how crazy the
Republicans are, yeah.
Let me skip down a little bit more.
I love quote diversity. I'm going to start saying that.
He would be annoying enough if all his global meddling turned out great. Even if his global meddling turned out great. But every single time, his ideas for slinging American power around the globe end in utter catastrophe. The Iran war, opposed by 60% of Americans, is only the latest example. So I love how she's
making it seem like it's all his plan.
I feel like Rubio was like famously cut out of going to war with Iran. Like it was kind of, I mean, I could be wrong, but it seemed like it was all Hegseth and Trump. It seemed like it was
all Trump, totally.
All Trump and all Hegseth.
Yeah, completely.
And like they didn't even consult Rubio or J.D. Vance. Like they had to kind of.
Vance was definitely against it. That I remember more than Rubio.
Well, Vance was like, one day he was just like, "No, we wouldn't do that. That's crazy." And then the next day he was like, "Dude,
absolutely eat ship." Yeah,
I love the Iran war.
Completely.
It's awesome and it's good. Let's see. She talks about how he supported the overthrow of Gaddafi along with Hillary Clinton, and that was bad.
So kind of basically overall, she's just trying to set him up as the fall person.
Yeah, I wanna read you one of these like insane paragraphs. Okay. As a direct result of the intervention in Libya, the world became a much, much worse place. When he was alive, Gaddafi made a deal with Europeans. In exchange for billions of dollars, he offered to hold back the millions of starving and ignorant Africans clamoring to get into Europe.
Holy shit. Wait, what?
As soon as he was gone, the floodgates opened. Sweden went from a country where rape and gun violence were virtually non-existent to the rape and gun crime capital of Europe.
Oh my God.
Countries like Norway, Germany, and Denmark were forced to hold classes teaching refugees not to rape European girls.
Holy shit.
The rape rate increased to 350% in the UK, 300% in France, and more than 150% across the EU. Social welfare programs are collapsing under the weight of freeloading refugees. Anti-Semitic attacks have gone through the roof. Jews are fleeing. France and Europe is about to become the next caliphate. As Gaddafi put it, now we shall see whether Europe will remain an advanced and united continent or if it will be destroyed, as happened with the barbarian invasions.
Oh God, I guess I didn't know this lady that well. I didn't realize she was that fucking racist and crazy.
She used to be on mainstream television. Can you believe? I mean,
no.
I think she still has a show somewhere. It might be independent.
Wow, that's wild.
But I mean, I don't know if there's much more.
I feel like there couldn't be nothing worse than that.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting because it suggests that Democrats' political instincts are just awful. Because
what does this have to do with Democrats?
Well, because there's so much here that if there's a schism over the Iran war on the right side, like they're like, oh, the far right, we're essentially ceding ground on anti-intervention to the far right. And I'm not part of the Democrats, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Wait, I'm confused. You don't think Democrats are criticizing the Iran war?
No.
I think they're
They're criticizing the fact that Trump did not go through the right process and procedure to do the Iran war, but they like the war. Like, I think Schumer and all those people are like, yeah, we would do this. I mean, certainly Fetterman.
I feel like Fetterman is pretty much the only Democrat I've heard who is pro this war.
No.
But I mean, I hear you on like, there's not that much of a difference between this and like military actions Democrats have sanctioned. But I think right now it would be political suicide to be pro this war. I'm not sure
necessarily anti the war, and I think they're happy to let Trump take the cover for it. And the complaints that I have seen of the Democrats has been about the fact that he did it unauthorized, and they're like, this is an unauthorized war.
I mean, I hear you. The Democrats don't have that much juice for an actual anti-imperial like movement, and I'm sure it's just kind of craven like. They know it's unpopular and therefore they're against it. They don't actually care about Iranians. I totally believe that. But they have been very against it. Just because it's unpopular and Trump has rammed it through.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like Hakeem Jeffries
is not pro-Iran war. What are you talking about? Am I missing something?
I think they're I think they're just mad that it's not a, again, going by procedure. Richie Torres, like all these people are just like super Zionist, and
I guess to me there's a difference between saying why aren't they doing more to publicize that they're against it and saying that they're for it. Again, I'm not trying to give any kind of moral backbone to the Democrats. I totally hear you there, but I don't think they're like for it. I mean, this is like Al Jazeera article, top Democrat in U.S. House slams Trump's reckless war of choice. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries always just blowing gas. He's never actually doing anything. But
that is more substantially like my point. Even if they are against it, they're not doing anything. They're not talking about it. They haven't mobilized.
They are talking about it, but they're not doing anything.
They haven't mobilized against it at all. They're not slowing it down even the slightest bit.
They've kept on passing. They've tried passing things, but it just won't pass. They don't have enough numbers. Like, I forget what the thing is. I'm not good at procedural shit.
Do something else.
They've tried multiple times to, like, pass a thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm sounding like an idiot right now, but they've tried to, like... I think maybe part of why, to be fair, you're hearing about the procedural stuff is that's the only, like, avenue they have. You know what I mean? As like a lever of check. They're trying to get Republicans on their side to like, what else are they supposed to do? You know what I mean?
If the procedure is not going to work, then get out there and fire people up and be like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, they could do a better job of that
X,
for
Y,
sure.
Z. Like,
yeah.
You can mobilize a crowd more than anyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you're just not. And you can make this a huge issue. Trump just swept midterms, or not midterms, but like the primaries.
But no, he didn't.
Among his party, yeah, he did.
Yeah, with his party, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Right.
But
like, those were like intra Republican races. Yeah.
Right, but I don't know. Like, we'll see how the midterms actually play out, but they're just not really. This is handed to them on a silver platter, and all they have to do is just constantly, I don't know, just, I'm gonna mix metaphors, but just keep mashing that button.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not. And the right is, like, did you see that there was a video a while ago of Nick Fuentes just being like, vote Democrat, because the way that the Republican Party is right now is insane, like all this interventionist stuff.
I can't deal with Nick Fuentes as a real person.
No, he's insane. He's like a fucking moron. But, the point is that something is wrong when Nick Fuentes is like, I need you to actually harm the Republican Party, the most racist party to have ever existed, which you would think he loves because of the interventionism.
Fair. I think we've talked about this before. I think the far right and the far left are always going to be better at like battle cries and galvanizing people.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me this for the first time?
No.
Oh.
That's what I said, as we've said before.
Have we said that before?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you're saying I'm telling you for the first time? No, I feel like we've made that point before on the podcast.
Well, maybe you have.
Yeah.
All
right. Can I do my fun items?
Yeah.
Okay. My first fun item. Have you been following the Wajin discourse?
No.
You're not on this algorithm.
No, I'm not really on any algorithm anymore.
I know, mashallah. You've been really on like a little social media hiatus. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm doing comparatively better, but you're definitely beating me. Not that it's a competition, but if it was, you'd be winning.
I'm on New York Times, Financial Times, The Spectator.
You're on your news game. Yeah. I've been on Substack a lot, which I'm loving.
I gotta do more Substack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've found some really weird ones that I like.
Like what?
I don't want to say, because I found one that's like a little, I wouldn't say conservative, but like, not conservative. It's like
Nick Fuentes.
No. It reminds me a little bit of that gal that you like, who's not conservative.
The gal I like.
Yeah, she's great.
Who's the gal I like?
The couple that you listen to.
Oh, Elizabeth Brunig?
Yeah. It's kind of like in that vein, but it's taken to more of an extreme of like liberal on labor, but like not even conservative, to be fair, but like, well, the one that I'm reading is more conservative on like gender, or like thinking about like,
it's not that lady
who
we talked about forever ago who cosplayed as Muslim and then came out with all this like anti-Semitic clothing.
This is no, that was upsetting.
I wonder what she's doing now.
Yeah, I forgot about her. That was a deep cut.
We should check in on her.
This is this is just like a blog by someone who's very well read, and I've been Googling all over, and it's anonymous. Like, people are speculating, but they don't for sure who she is. Anyway, she does really good book reviews. Wajin discourse.
Mm-hmm. So
Wajins are white Asians.
Okay.
They're half white, half Asian.
All right.
They've been doing meetups, and they're massive.
All of them?
They're all meeting up, mostly in New York and San Francisco. We're kind of in the Wajin capital right now. I've been walking around seeing a lot of them.
Okay, I haven't noticed.
Really?
Yeah, I don't notice that stuff.
Oh, you don't see race?
No.
Really? Okay.
I definitely don't see half race. I'm not like...
I do.
It seems like a very 1800s...
Well, I think it's because I'm mixed. I'm always like noting when people seem mixed. Like, yeah. But also I've just seen like a lot of couples where like one of them is white, one of them is Asian. And if they
Well,
have children,
that's two
they'll be
different.
Asians.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
And I've seen couples like that with children.
Okay.
Anyway,
What are you supposed to do when you see one?
no, you're not supposed to do anything. It's not like a tag or a challenge or anything.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
I just note it mentally.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, so they've been doing massive meetups. And then there was like all this backlash and excessive online discourse about the meetups. And here are my thoughts. The only kind of like genuine critique that I thought was fair was like why I think people were just saying the term Wasian because it was like an easy shorthand.
What's happening? What are the meetups? What's happening? Where are they? What are they doing? How many are there? Like, what are you talking
Like
about?
hundreds of people.
Okay,
And they're in New York and San Francisco and LA.
Okay.
This big American coastal cities essentially.
Okay.
And they're just like, it's just like a meetup. Like people just kind of come up in person and chat. Like it's just like people are meeting up at Central Park and like large parks and just like hanging.
And they're like, we're the same two races.
It's just like a cute community thing, kind of.
Okay.
Like it's just been like a hang, you know.
What happens if like I don't want to say purebred. What happens if a full Asian
So I'll get to
goes,
this. So
or
I'll
a
say
full white person goes?
the critique that I thought was legitimate. I think that they were just saying Wasian because it like sounds snappy. But then there were like people who were half black, half Asian, half Latina, half Asian, or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, cool, are we not supposed to come?" And I was like, that is kind of exclusionary and stupid. The whole point is that you're half Asian and you're bonding over that experience.
Or maybe the whole point's that you're half white, and
Well,
that's
that was kind of the critique, is like you're really centering whiteness in a way.
half whiteness.
Right. And I was like, there's something to that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
It's like, do you know how it feels to not be fully white?
Yeah.
You know, that's maybe the discourse
That's
rather
kind
than
of the
like,
vibe.
oh, we're
Right.
okay.
And as you can imagine, I bet that like if you're half white, half Asian, there might be certain privileges that you have, like depending on whatever.
Yeah. Maybe they're just enjoying their privileges together.
In Central Park.
Yeah.
But then I thought the critique was kind of silly from people who were fully Asian, who were like, this is exclusionary. Because I feel like, okay, first of all, I'm sure if you showed up, no one would be like...
Sorry, how broad Asian are we talking?
That was another kind of conversation. It seemed like these were mostly like half East Asian, but then people were like, oh, can I come if I'm South Asian? And like basically whenever someone was like, can I come? Everyone was like, yeah, of course you can come. Like no one was like at the bouncing at Central Park, you know what I mean?
No.
But they were mostly folks who were half East Asian. It looked like half, I mean, now I'm like going based on
What
looks,
if you're half Welsh, half Thai?
Yeah.
Okay, what if you're half Lithuanian, half Vietnamese?
Yeah, these are all fine.
What if
okay. So, but I feel like to the folks who were like, oh my gosh, like this, why are you focusing on being half white? Like a lot of folks who were saying that were fully Asian. I think the whole point is that it's kind of nice sometimes to have a group where you can explore what it's like to have a specific experience. And it's not as if you can't go if you're fully Chinese or fully Indian or fully Pakistani or whatever. Yeah. But like, I don't think it's wrong to build community around that. And the truth is, and this is what all the Wasians were saying in their many, many reels, and I heard them, was like a lot of people who are half of something do feel excluded or not fully included in any space. And on the one hand, it's such a like biracial trope that's kind of played out. Like there's so many great jokes about like, and I wrote this shit when I was younger, like bad biracial poetry, like, am I half a mango? Like, you know, whatever. Am I half of a sticky rice? Like, it's a trope for a reason because it's a little cringe because it's like there's bigger problems out there. And at the same time, there is something to growing up being mixed in a country that is like very intensely divided in a lot of ways, where sometimes you don't feel like you have like a single place that is your corner. I'm sure people feel this way for lots of other reasons, even if they aren't mixed, obviously. And so I feel like there's nothing wrong or inherently exclusionary about being like, oh, this is for people who are mixed. Like this is the kind of the intention is to kind of create a community space for that.
What if you're Chechen or like Dagestani? That's kind of like
already Asian.
Kinda.
Yeah,
but
that
like
would be
you're
a good
one thing. You
that
know
would
what I'm
be
saying?
a good test case. Yeah. Yeah, that was my feeling about that.
It seems like a lot of thought. I can't relate. I don't know. I don't.
You would go to an Egyptian meetup, and that wouldn't be weird. You know?
Yeah, but like I wouldn't go to a thing that is just like, let's think about our race.
But no, you've gone to like Arab social group events and stuff. Like
I went to an Arab social group because I thought I was an Arab socialist group.
that was so adorable. You were so
I got confused.
That was such a cute story. That actually did happen.
But
you
like,
really were just like chilling, drinking matcha, and you were like, "Oh."
I mean, I guess what I'm confused about is that is it a kind of like just a cultural event, or is it a cultural event plus we're also doing some introspection, collective introspection about what
both.
it means to be this thing? Because that latter part, I'm just like, why do you need that?
I mean, probably both, but look, there are like that just kind of is the way that things operate here. There's affinity groups for everything. So I just don't get why there wouldn't be for this.
This is the sort of DEI I'm against.
No, but I mean, I don't know. It's I think it's not, if it doesn't like become your whole thing, or it's not like this doesn't mean that you don't also show up to other things, right? You can also be in the socialist group, you could also be in the full Asian group or whatever. But I think there's something kind of nice about like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people I've been close to throughout my life are half and half of something. Like my closest friend is like half Pacific Islander, half white, and that was like a thing we bonded over as soon as we met. Like, I don't think that's inherently wrong. I think there's something about like having any kind of experience, whether it's being biracial, or whether it's being from like an immigrant background of a particular place, that like it's just a way to connect with people, that you understand certain things. I think that maybe people who aren't mixed are kind of like think it's weird, but it's not like you're saying it's the same in a way. I think it's a closer to other types of affinity groups than people realize. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, is it precious to reflect on being mixed? Maybe a little bit, but like people reflect on all sorts of other shit. You know what I mean?
Like, maybe being like Turkmen.
Why are you picking such specific groups?
And
oh, you're still mixing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had included some clips, but there were too many to sort through. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. The main critique that did resonate for me, again, I'm not like going to the Asian meetups or anything, but the main thing I was like, oh yeah, like why is it specifically half white? Like that seems kind of particular. Like why not just like being Asian and mixed, you know, as the relevant factor?
Yeah.
But besides that, I think there's nothing wrong with having a meetup. Go for it.
So there's like a Asian Blasian divide.
Well, it's being healed now through Reels, but there was initially. Yeah.
Okay, well that's great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts on that? You came up with a lot of really good Asian potential mixes. You know what I've thought about? When we have a kid, inshallah, do you think that kid will basically just be Arab? Isn't that weird?
I think unfortunately they'll just be kind of American.
But I think they'll be ethnically Arab.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to make sure that it is. I mean, okay. I mean, I would like for them to feel an obligation to like connecting to something. But I also don't want it to be like a thing that they're annoying about.
Yeah. But I mean, look, if you go through an annoying phase with being really into your cultural background, like in your teenage years, there's worse things. If that remains your whole shtick, there's more factors and variables in life to think about.
Yeah.
You know, but like I totally went through that, and I feel like it's just not like something I talk about
college
all the time now. I mean, look, at its best, it's a source that drives you to like read about history and get into different art things. At its worst, it feels very surface level and kind of navel gazy, you know?
Right.
But no, I was saying it'll be weird that our kid identifies as Arab because I'm not Arab. You're just thinking about how to make this kid Arab, or like what?
They'll be half Arab.
But I know, but I'm saying I feel like what will happen, because I feel already like a lot of people when we moved to Pittsburgh assumed that I was Arab because we were like showing up to stuff together.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen in North Carolina because we didn't start off in North Carolina together. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that's interesting. I'm not like against it. I just think it's interesting.
People do think you're Arab in Pittsburgh. That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, not anymore because I've made a point of saying I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Wasian. You tell them that.
Yes, I'm going to tell them that I was at the Wasian meetup. Exactly.
You should run
I
for
could. I
Wasian
was
president?
wondering if I could go to a Wasian meetup. I guess I could,
I
right?
should ask.
I mean, like Pakistan's in Asia,
Yeah.
and Sweden is definitely white. So,
Yeah.
All right, my last item is just a story. It's not an item. It's a story I forgot to tell.
Okay.
I already told you, but I wanted to tell the podcast.
Mhm.
I went to a really weird yoga class this morning that was very San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
They turned all the lights off. It was completely dark. We were doing yoga by candlelight. They were like electric candles. So I couldn't see anything, including the instructor. I had no idea what I was doing. And then she massaged us all. Like she
That's
went
so
around
weird.
and massaged
What was
each
the
of us.
massage? Like, was it head massage?
It was
or
like
massage?
shoulder. She did it
Okay.
twice. And it was like, it felt really nice, but it was really quick because there was like 9 of us. So she couldn't really get into it, It was weird. I won't be going back. The massage was the best part,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah,
the
that's
class
nice.
was weird. She was
Yeah.
really pretty. So I was like, all right.
Okay. What was her race?
I actually think she looked half Asian.
Oh.
I didn't even think of having that tie-in, but I think she may have been Blasian.
Maybe you should ask her if you can go to the meetup.
I should. Well, I think she's Blasian, so I wonder how she feels. She could also just be Asian, some kind of Asian. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all
I
I
have this clip of Cece berating the I think it was one of the MPs who was just like, we should have a constitutional right to education and healthcare. And I won't play it because it's in Arabic, but Cece's just like, where do you think I'm going to get this money? You think I have this? Like, we should just like laugh in your face. He's just like, you think you have a constitutional right to healthcare, and it just kind of really shitting on the guy in front of everyone. I'm like, motherfucker, you spent all this money on a brand new city for surveillance, and now you're like, oh, we don't have enough money for healthcare.
You did
and
not
education?
introduce this. I thought you were going to connect this to Wasians.
No, it's got
I was
nothing
like,
about
what's the
Asians.
connection? You forgot to say I have one closing item.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
my closing item.
Nice.
I was trying to see if I.
You can
had
play it a little
anything
bit if you
else.
want.
No.
You could do live translation. You could
Oh,
show
actually,
us your Arabic prowess with your lessons.
I did have one thing.
Is
but
that our last thing?
I think maybe we need to save it for another episode, but
Save it.
because Pope Leo came out with the what is it
The
called?
AI commentary, the
What is it called?
encyclopedia, not encyclopedia,
Not an encyclopedia,
he
but
was
something
his
kind of like
papal,
papal.
papal,
Yeah.
his papal commentary on AI. I actually really
Encyclical.
encyclical. That's right. I actually really would like to read it, so that could be cool to do an
It's
episode on.
42,000 words, so good luck.
I mean,
That's
that's like a book.
It's a book.
Yeah.
I read some of it.
What do you mean?
I read some of it. I'm gonna say, not impressed.
Okay, I'm not. All right,
Not impressed.
Mister.
Pope.
Unless you read the whole thing, and I want to hear
I didn't
it.
read the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
so who cares?
A lot of it is like, oh, humanity's beautiful and we're all one, and we have to love each other. And love is I mean, it is like a very socialist document. He pretty much should have just been like, please read the Communist Manifesto.
Well,
and then
apparently he's building off of a previous
one.
one that was a response to Industrial Revolution,
Yes.
so that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
168 pages. That's a book. You could totally read that.
I know, but of what I've read so far, I'm
Okay.
not impressed.
Thank you for your shorthand
Hopefully,
summary.
Hopefully I do a little bit better. No, but I kind of wanted to go through a little bit of it. There are some...
Let's do it next episode, 'cause I would love to read some of it first.
Yeah. And then compare it to some of the papers that Muslim scholars have been putting out on AI.
Oh, that could be a really cool episode. We should do that.
Yeah.
Like religious responses to AI.
Yeah.
Oh, we should bring back that thing we did where I was a sexy... No, I was a
The
huri.
Techno Jehannam.
Yeah, but there was some good AI.
I kind of started writing bits for another one forever ago, but
should do
it
it
just
for
went
Halloween.
to the back burner. I know we said this 2 Halloweens ago.
But this Halloween we should do it, inshallah.
I end the episode the way I started, and that's by making no promises of any consistency or quality from here on out. Set
And on-
expectations low, and you will exceed them.
On that note, good night.
Okay, bye.
Bye.